How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. Well, we've got another mass shooting filling the headlines. The one out of is it Grand Blanc? I think is how it's pronounced. It's spelled Grand Blanc, but I think it's pronounced Grand Blanc. Michigan, in Genesee County, guy shot up a Mormon church, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Some people are arguing that this will be somewhat relevant later, but not really. Some are saying that the Mormons are Christians. Some are saying they're not. I don't know. If you're a Mormon, let me know. Because I am inclined to believe that because you have that addendum to the Bible that is uncorroborated with any other sect of Christianity, I would tend to think not, but let me know in the comments below if you're a Mormon watching this, because I really don't know that much about you guys. But anyway, what was the very first thing to come out, right? Very first thing, church gets targeted. Guy drove his truck into the church. He fired a bunch of shots. As of the last numbers that I saw, there have been a total of 13 casualties. That is 5 dead, 8 wounded. The number of dead could increase because of, well, we don't know, or at least I don't know, the extent of the injuries of the wounded. All right? So that the number of dead could increase. Guess who did it? We were told it was a targeted attack on Christians, right? A targeted attack on Christians. Never mind that, they're trying to paint this out to be some left-wing nut job, just like they're trying to do with all of them, right? All the shootings are left-wing nut jobs, aren't they? Well, this guy is verifiably on the right. Verifiably on the right. Now, right, left, doesn't matter. He's dead. I don't care. Right? I mean, as far as, I don't care that he's dead. Right? Because anybody who would do something like that, I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you. And my understanding is it was actually the police that shot him dead. And I have no sympathy for him. I do have some sympathy for his child, who is now fatherless. But how do we know this guy was a right-winger? Well, he had a Trump sign on the fence at his property, and then some people are going to say, well, no, it was saying stop Trump, because if you look at if you've seen the picture, it shows the fence, and it has a Trump sign, right? And then just under the Trump sign is a stop sign, right? Now, that stop sign doesn't appear to be actually on the fence, but still, if you're going to put stop Trump, a couple of things here. First of all, if I was going to do that, I wouldn't go get an official Trump sign, right? And also, I wouldn't put it above the stop sign. I would put it below the stop sign so that it would actually make a little bit more sense. But whatever, neither here nor there. We know that this guy was a MAGA right-winger. There are pictures of him in Trump garb, Trump apparel. He has, in one of the pictures, I want to say it was from 2019, it was a t-shirt with a picture of Trump on it. Said Trump 2028, I don't know, something, or not 2028, excuse me, 2020. Trump 2020, make liberals cry again, or something like that. I don't know. So something stupid like that, right? So, dude was MAGA. All right. That wasn't the only shooting over the weekend, though. In fact, there were 4 other shootings, and depending on how you define mass shootings, there are a few different definitions out there. One of them is 3 or more shot. Another one is 4 or more shot. And there's also 3 or more shot and killed. And 4 or more shot and killed, excluding the perpetrator in all cases. Okay? Which, by the way, that 5 killed in Michigan, I believe that includes the shooter. So it's actually 4, 8, and 12, I think, if you're not going to count him. By the way, topic for another video, because 3 of these shootings all have one thing that tied them together. And I'll get into that though. But yeah, there was one in New Orleans. Now keep in mind, these are all on the 27th and 28th of September, right? So just over the weekend. 5 over the weekend. There's one in New Orleans on Bourbon Street. Suspect is still at large. There was 1 dead, 3 injured, 4 total casualties. There was another one in Rosita, Texas at I'm trying to think of the name of the casino. It was a casino on the Kickapoo Reservation. All right. So there's Kickapoo Reservation, casino, Rosita, Texas. 7 casualties, 2 dead, 5 wounded. That one, I don't know that politics really matter on that one because it appeared to be over something. The best information I can find on that is it had something to do with some kind of a raffle or something that they were having. That's my understanding of what I was able to find, but I couldn't find a whole lot of details on it. But it was a black man, an Army veteran. By the way, the guy in Michigan was also a veteran. I want to say he was a Marine veteran, if I remember correctly. And I'm going to do another video on 3 of these and tie them all together. But so I'll make sure that I have the correct information in that next video. I want to say he's a Marine veteran. The guy in Texas was an Army veteran. Southport, North Carolina. There was another shooting. And this one was by a Marine veteran. No known political motivation that I could find. 8 casualties. 5 wounded and 3 dead. So, 11 dead, 25 wounded, 36 total casualties. And in case you've already done the math in your head, it adds up, because there was another one in Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, nobody was killed. There were 4 injuries. And based on one little news clip that I could find on that, all 4 are expected to make full recovery. But, 4 shot is still considered a mass shooting. Okay? So, 36 casualties over 2 days in mass events. And it just continues to happen. Continues to happen. And you know what? There's going to be another one. And then there's going to be another one after that. And they're going to keep going. And, eventually you're going to have something like the Las Vegas shooting in a school. Right? Like that number of casualties, but in a school. And what's going to happen? Well, thoughts and prayers. Not good enough. Not good enough. I mean, there's nothing wrong with thoughts and prayers, but action needs to accompany those thoughts and prayers. The prayer should be for guidance for the correct action to take. That's what we should be praying for. Guidance for the next for the correct actions to take to prevent these incidents from happening. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me as far as how many we've had this year, but 5 in one weekend, 2 of them in one state. Yeah, we need to change some things. We need to change some things, and I will get into that. I've gotten into that before, and I will get into it again. But I'm going to do a video very specifically on these 3 that involve veterans, because that's kind of close to my heart, being a veteran too. Because I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts on why 3 of the 5 were veterans, and it's not super uncommon. It's not super uncommon for veterans to do something like this, and I have some thoughts on that I will get into, and that's going to be my next video. So, be watching for that. I'll see you next time.